A very good morning and a happy Monday. Welcome back to the daily market update. EURUSD has been pushing up higher and we are nearing the overall top of the range. So is it now ready to potentially sell off back in towards the downside? Now, good morning, guys. My name is Fabio. And before we head into euro dollar and the other major dollar pairs, quick announcement, we did a giveaway inside Discord, an event where you had the opportunity to hand in the most valuable info documents about the strategy itself. The top, let's say, info documents wins a 20k funded challenge with the trading pit. So if you want to participate, head over to Discord now and make sure to hand in one of those documents. Now, guys, EURUSD is back at the overall range high, as we can see, at a key level of resistance within this overall range that was formed throughout August. Now, it is now the beginning of the month of September, and as we can see, we've started to push up in towards the highs after closing in August with a very strong bullish candlestick. Now, looking at the daily time from here on EURUSD, we can see that we are still stuck within the range and we're now just simply at the top of that overall range. What I have here is pretty much the overall swing structure done on my chart. So here, obviously, we have the breakup structure in towards the highs. Then here, swing low, swing high, market retraces into 0.5 fib, liquidates this overall low, and then since then we've been pushing up higher with exception of this overall area of consolidation. Now, if you remember last week, I mentioned that this bearish candlestick over here, that is an area where a lot of shorters get into the markets, with a stop loss above the high, and obviously also with the third trendline touch here being tapped. Now, what I'm looking for on EURUSD is for us to take out that overall range high, and then after that, I'll potentially be looking for a short back in towards the lows, as the high of the range has then been taken. So I'll be looking to see if we can get a 4-hour change of character, and that would be happening from either this high over here or this high over here or even this high over here. I'm happy to look for those shorts back in towards the downside, but preferably you kind of like want to stay close within this overall range. So I would prefer for us to get like a 4-hour change of character after taking out that high, and then I'll be looking for potential short position. Now, last week I was looking for a long if we were to take out these two ascending lows. We never came that low. So yeah, for myself, no real trade there on EURUSD last week, as overall the market has just been consolidating. But I do see there to potentially be a short coming into the markets very soon here for EURUSD. Now, going into the dollar index itself has now rated the overall swing low, as we can see over here. Again, you can see the overall range low gets taken. So if we just extend this range over here, then what has happened this morning is that we've taken the liquidity that was resting underneath the overall range low, and now we're seeing an initial reaction. So let's see if we see a market structure shift here today, then potentially we could head back up higher, take out these highs, or we'll just trickle down lower, and this is just an initial liquidation reaction, and then in the next 2 hours we just see kind of like ourselves head down lower. But if we do get that market structure shift in towards the highs, we could head up back in towards the upside. But overall, the dollar index obviously still just simply consolidating. Looking here at the daily time frame, it's also very simply said consolidating. So there's not too much to be said. All I can really say here is that obviously we have this kind of like internal uptrend. We formed this overall ascending trend line. The overall trend line got a third trend line tap, and now we've been grabbing liquidity underneath those early buyers in towards the highs. So let's see if we could potentially start seeing a reversal, but it will all depend on what the lower time frame shows. Today's Monday, so I want to see what will happen. But yeah, it would be nice obviously to see the market structure shift and then potentially start heading up higher again, but it will all depend on how we see the candlesticks form throughout this London and New York session today on Monday. But yeah, overall weekly time frame, we're still within this overall sell before the buy up, which is still our weekly demand zone. We've just been chilling inside of that, so not too much going on. Still, weekly fractal is bullish. So let's see if the lower time frame, being the 4-hour, can give us any market structure shift here internally to prevent or to potentially hint at that the dollar index wants to head up higher. Now, going into AUDUSD, looking for further downside on this today. Looking here at the daily time frame, we can see that we've come back up in towards, let's say, premium pricing of this overall buy before the sell here. So this is the overall buy up for the strong sell down. Now, inside of that buy before the sell, you obviously have a refined supply zone. So if we zoom in, the refined supply zone is this over here. This is a strong supply zone because it liquidated this overall high here to the left. Now, coming into that supply zone, we're coming in with the corrective ascending price action. So now what have we seen? We have seen a 4-hour fractal low break in towards the downside this morning. What I'm now looking for is for us to potentially continue down lower. The real market structure shift will happen once we break this low over here. Then you'll have the higher conviction potential shorts come into play. So Aussie dollar took out this high over here. This is kind of like the last final liquidity high. This was the first bump in the road. And now we're just looking for this to potentially sell off in towards the downside. Now going into GBPUSD, we can see that GU has also headed up higher. Sadly, just failed to take out this liquidity high over here, which I was looking to see get taken out for then a potential short in towards the downside to start playing out. Looking at the daily time frame, obviously also very consolidative. Nothing too much has changed. Still looking for the downside, with this being the swing high, this being the swing low. Bump in the road gets taken out. I'm now looking for this to potentially sell off. Overall, still a lot of liquidity above this overall high over here that was formed on Friday, the 22nd of August. I was looking for that to get taken out to then get a short in. For the rest, very consolidative price action. Like the real lower range is pretty much this piece of price action over here. So I'm now just looking to pretty much trade from the range high back down towards the range low. But I would only be looking for a short position once we take out this high. Now, again, guys, often in these videos, I say I would like to see a short position start to play out from this overall swing high over here. And then, for example, the market just shoots up in towards the highs. This could happen. Now, I don't take losses on these kind of trades because, again, I'm not an idiot to just start selling exactly on the overall high. I always wait for the overall confirmation on the lower time frame to confirm that the market actually wants to reverse in towards the downside. So make sure to look for that as well when trading, okay? So let's see if that happens. Would be nice to take out that high and then potentially look for a short from that high. So let's see what happens today. If it already starts selling off, then I'll just leave it for what it is, as it's still very consolidative. Going into NZDUSD, we can see that NZDUSD has started to sell off in towards the lows, just like AU. Reason being is because it's retraced into this area of imbalance. So this little buy before the sell over here, that can indeed cause the market now to sell off. So NZDUSD is pretty straightforward. It's retraced into premium pricing. It's retraced in towards this supply zone on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, we've retraced into that supply. So now you would want to see a fractal break in towards the downside. So we need to break the current fractal low and then start to see some momentum come in. I wouldn't really want to sell on this first fractal low just because there's not really a lot of liquidity. Yes, you have maybe some liquidity over here, but not very significant. So I would like to see kind of like an order flow chain start to forming towards the downside, and I'll be monitoring the 1-hour time frame. So on the 1 hour, you're kind of already seeing the 1-hour change of character. So let's see if we can get some more momentum, and that would then potentially be nice for some sells, okay, in towards the downside. So that's what I have for NZDUSD. Then moving onwards into USDCAD, USD Swiss, Gold. So USDCAD sold off in towards the downside. We just last night, or on Friday afternoon, excuse me, missed out on coming underneath this liquidity low that I was looking to reach. I was looking for potential longs after that liquidity low would be swept, and I'm still looking for that to happen. So I wouldn't go long here on USDCAD just yet. If you are looking for longs, obviously a lot of traders are looking at this from a swing low to swing high perspective. We're all the way in discount, and here we have the break of structure. Yeah, I mean, maybe if it starts breaking the fractal high and order flow starts to form and we see the dollar start to reverse, then yes. But at this point in time, for me, it's just too early to look for buys. So I would really prefer for this, because look, 1 hour supply is also still in control. I would prefer for this to sell off maybe one more time, take out the overall swing low, and then look for a potential long in towards the highs. Moving on into USD Swiss. So USD Swiss has trickled down lower. Yeah, let's say as expected. For now, the overall daily time frame, the market structure remains bearish. Obviously, from this high in towards this low over here, we retraced towards 0.5 fib retracement. Buy before the sell down remained in control, and since then the daily fractals have been bearish as well, pushing the market down lower. So just follow that in towards the downside, very simply said. USDJPY, I've been looking for shorts on this as well since last week. You can see the arrow is still on. We filled pretty much the entire time to take out that liquidity on the 1 hour time frame. This is like the beginning of this overall little descending trend line here. So I've been waiting for that to get taken out as I want to trade it towards this overall current fractal low, but moreover also towards the overall low here of 14th of August. Yeah, just looking for this to still sell off in towards the downside. USDJPY also just ranging. So yeah, I would say a big piece of advice: don't burn your hands on trading within the range. Wait for the overall range high or low to get swept, and in this particular instance, wait for this little internal range high to get swept for a potential short, or wait for this low to get swept and then potentially look for a pullback trade today to take out that liquidity. Then last of all, gold. So I was looking for gold short on Friday with the ascending price action that we had in towards the highs. Yeah, what can I say? The short really didn't play out. We didn't get a short at all. Obviously, we took out a swing high over here. Price was squeezing in towards the highs. But then again, did we get what we needed for that short to play out? Well, obviously, the 4-hour fractal low was positioned all the way down over here. So if you would have waited for the 4-hour fractal low to break, you would have waited for a very long time. On the 1 hour as well, yeah, what can we see? We only swept liquidity, just like literally with a little wick tick, and then we reversed back in towards the highs. So just a liquidity grab to fuel the next move up higher. So yeah, I mean, no real confirmation at all for the shorts, so no loss taken there. And now we are nearing an all-time high for gold. So yeah, keep your eyes open. Obviously, when you take out an all-time high, most often price will still kind of like pump a few hundred pips. So stay safe, I would say, because obviously we're looking at this kind of like as an area of liquidity. Gold could start pushing down lower because gold has overall just been in a range, right? Like this is the overall range for gold. And we're now really at a premium of the overall range. So I will be looking for a potential short back in towards the downside very soon. And maybe even without taking out this high over here, we could start seeing a pullback. But as you can see, the 4-hour fractal low is all the way down over here. So there's not really any way for me at the moment to time a potential short. So for now, I'll just let gold push up higher, hopefully take out the all-time high. And then from there, start looking for a potential 4-hour short position. So that's what I have for today. And yeah, guys, wish you all a fantastic trading day. Let's keep an eye on AUDUSD and NZDUSD for potential shorts. And yeah, speak to you guys inside Discord. Thanks.